Hi, so I'm Earl and let's talk about virtue ethics. So when you hear the word virtuous, you might be thinking about a monk meditating, a priest giving lectures or sound advices, or a dutiful maid, you know, without any complaints, accepting all the blessings and pains of life. But no, that's not actually it. Contrary to what people might initially think, being virtuous does not actually involve any extremities like the aforementioned. Rather, it is all about the being in the middle, according to Aristotle. As Aristotle believed in other virtue theorists, if you can just focus on being good people, the right actions will follow, effortlessly. This tells us to adhere to what Aristotle termed as proper functioning or proper function, which basically means that living things must strive, including us. But since we are intellectual, moral, and social beings, this tells us that we should be morally and ethically upright. The same proper function that the clock has, to tell time. Say, for example, you were asked by your friend if his art project is good enough according to a rubric that he must adhere to or refer to. You saw that his work is far from good enough for the requirements. But how do you tell that to him without crushing his hopes of being an artist? Virtue ethics tells us to put ourselves between the two extremities of being brutally honest and, failing to say what needs to be said, which is the golden mean. In this case, it is constructive criticism. So if you can just find every golden mean in every aspect of life, this could really work for you. Virtue ethics can really work for us. But as is everything, there's some problems that we could face using this philosophy. One problem is that virtue ethics has no moral framework, or in other words, it is not an action guide at all, as opposed to deontology or utilitarianism. Another is that there is no definitive answer for moral dilemmas. In contrast to those problems that we could face, virtue ethics does not spend a lot of time telling us what to do in a certain situation. Instead, it tells us to build character, to improve ourselves, so that we can know what to do in every single situation. Virtue ethics can really help you in day-to-day decision making. As long as you find the right mean or the golden mean within yourself. For example, being courageous. The two extremities in being courageous is, being a coward, and the other extremity is being reckless. So instead of being reckless or being a coward, you can sit in between. That is courage. That is a virtue. So that is all about virtue ethics. I hope you learned something. Again, this is Earl Berizo, signing off.